inside of our Africanisms and rooted inside of African tradition is the pouring of libations. When you pour out a libation, what you're really doing is you're invoking the spirit of the ancestors, and we know that when our ancestors pass away, they only transition, so they never really die. So what we want to do is we want to fill up this space right here with the names of all of our ancestors, people who touched us, people who left a mark, people who left a legacy, not only in our lives, but also in the lives of the world, in the lives of our friends, everybody. So we want to call out their names right now. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take some water. And in this cup I have some water, and when I pour it out, then I'll say her name, Mary Peoples. That was my grandmother. So then I'm gonna pour it again for the ancestors. So every time when I pour some water inside of the cup, I want you to just yell out the name of an ancestor that you want us to constantly remember, who you want to fill up this space and be in this moment and in this experience with you right now. All right, are y'all ready? And say their names loud, because listen, they live big lives. That's why we still remember them. All right, here we go. So just call them out.
Elevate. Malcolm X. Mama Francis.
Our ancestors went through so much in order for us to be able to land in the spaces that we're in right now. And eventually we're going to be ancestors to somebody else. And so we're paving the way for the next generation and the next generations. Okay? Alright, so today obviously is a celebration of two women, but it's also a celebration of a journey that has come to fruition, because when you write a book and when you have an idea to even write a book, the hardest part in any journey is getting started. And so when you finish with that journey, then you have an outcome. And so the outcome for what they have put into this actual journey is this book. And hopefully everybody in here purchased one of the books, so you purchased several of the books, because also the end game is to sell these, right? So we want to make sure that everybody is digging deep into your pockets and into your heart so that you can purchase these books. So the name of the book is called The ABCs of the Black Panther Party. So the first thing that I want to ask is, what inspired you all to write this book? And why the Black Panther Party? Why the Black Power movement? Why now?
Well, I remember you calling me up one day. Well, we've had lots of conversations around the books that are missing in our children's libraries. So she would talk about it from a teacher perspective, I'd talk about it from a parent perspective. And you called me up one night and you said, we gotta do a book. We gotta do a book on the Panthers. Like I'm so tired of people hearing these demonizing stories about the Panthers. Our kids either don't hear the story, or when they do, it's from an oppressive viewpoint. And Khalilah has a background in history. I have a background in education, but I have some early childhood, so we put our talents together and we said, let's do it then.
And I think we came up with a whole bunch of different books.
Well, we thought about the Young Lords,
and we are doing that.
And there's a couple of others on the list. I'm gonna keep those a little secret, but which is the next on our list, the Young Lords. But yeah, so we came up with a list of books that we felt were important for our kids to hear those stories. That my kids didn't know those stories. I didn't know those stories. When I started to learn about the Panthers, you know, it was always from this, you know, very demonizing viewpoint. And so we knew that our kids needed to hear the truth and hear it from a place of love and admiration. So a child was born.
And I think why now? So you work closely with the Schomburg, and I got the Schomburg Black Power 50 book, and I learned so much. So I was a history teacher. I taught about the Black Panthers, and then I got this text and learned even more. And I was like, well, why didn't I know this from the beginning? And why didn't I know this as a child? And so even learning that the Young Lords actually started in Chicago, and that like Puerto Ricans first went to Chicago, I was like, what? How did that happen? All the different groups of people who were a part of the Black Power movement. I thought about how can we get that book, that Black Power 50, into the hands of children.
Absolutely. Together. And I'm so happy that we have children in this space, and I hear them talking, and I hear them murmuring, and I heard them having like a little conversation together. And it's okay. It's perfectly fine to hear them talking. And I know it's the inclination of adults for us to shush them, you know. But at one point in time, we were the children, but we were learning from our parents while they were doing what they had to do. So the point is that the work still goes on, and everything that we're doing, the children are picking it up and they're absorbing it in a way. So I'm happy that the young people are inside of the space. All of the young people say, yeah. Yeah.
chapter we were on or what images, and they'd give us some input. Miss, don't put that picture, that's another picture. I don't like that text or whatever. And they would start asking questions about the story. And so one of the things that we talked about was, because they asked why Black Lives Matter was in there, and they didn't understand the history around why the Panthers started. And I said, you do know why the Panthers started, right? And we started talking about the police brutality that was happening. And they said, oh, that's just like Black BLM. And I said, yeah. They said, well, wait, we're still fighting for the same thing?
When we came together to write this book, it initially, there are not a lot of people of color in the unschooling community. But when you go to homeschooling community, you'll see a lot of white people and a lot of whiteness. And so for us, it was like, how do we help parents start this conversation? How do we help parents say, okay, I'm going to raise my children up so that by the time they go into kindergarten and in first grade, if you send them to a traditional school, that they're very clear of who they are and where they come from. And then the other half is now, if you're in a classroom and you're a teacher, how do you teach the Panthers from a way that celebrates them and not demonizes them? And really quickly, I just want to shout out Sharifa Hodges. Sharifa, stand up. Stand up, Sharifa. So Sharifa, we're going to clap before we even know. So we're going to clap, and then I'm going to tell you why we're clapping.
I need Sharifa from Connecticut.
So Sharifa, on January 2nd, is opening an African-centered Montessori school in Brooklyn. Right? And it is totally independent, and it is about teaching our kids from a place of love. We just interviewed her on our podcast. Bree has a podcast. We'll share that, right? You can find us on iTunes. We just interviewed her, and we'll share it out with you so you can hear about her journey in starting this school and why she started it. She's part of, I point her out because that's the connection we want to make. That you start from home, and then how do we connect it to when your kid goes to school? We also have a parent and teacher guide coming out in the new year to help support the development of the book, because we can give, I work with teachers, you can give them the tool, but how are they going to execute it? It becomes the question. If I were to ask you, right, so we took the alphabet, yes, and we said we're just going to connect every letter in the alphabet to something, to the Black Panthers. If we were to just go around and start asking people to connect letters, do you think we could get through the alphabet right now, just in this room? I'm not sure. And a big part of it is we're never taught our history, so we're doomed to repeat it.
So who are some of the people that you know who were members of the Black Panther Party? So if I say their first name, can you give me their last name? So that'll be our call and response example. So if I say Angela, now we on it. If I say Asada, yes, I like that. I'm like, we're warming up. If I say Bobby, you say If I say Stokely, you say Stokely Carmichael.
There is no chance that we will fall apart.
There is no chance that we will fall apart.
There is no chance.
There is no chance.
And there are no parts.
And there are no parts.
Thank you all for coming out.